Hello and good morning. Hello and good morning. Welcome to the news analysis of Northeast Window Television broadcasting live from Imphal. And we'll discuss the headlines of the national, international, local newspaper that carries the stories of society, polity, economy, anything that affects the people of Manipur and Manipur. And to help me out in this discussion, we have here in the studio the expert of today's discussion, Sir SHANTA NAHAKPAM, Secretary General, United Committee Manipur USM. Sir, welcome to this analysis.
Thank you. Very good.
Sir, in the Indian Express, the headline says, "We want return to relief camps." It's about the voice of the IDPs. It's about their resentment, their frustrations, insecurities, inactivity of the government. Sir, how do you look at it?
First of all, a very good morning to viewers. Regarding this IDP issue, it has been continuing since last 2 years. Now the matter is slightly different. When there was a heavy firing, bombardment and other things, now the issue is how do you survive economically. I believe that the IDP wants to return home because they want to come back to the original economy which made their existence and livelihood. At present they are living in fabricated houses, homes, clubs and other areas. Now the government has not been able to make them adopt to various economies, various existing economies. So the priority for them is to come back to the original economy. That can only happen when they reach their original station where they used to survive, whether they have a farmland, whether they were engaged in labor job, whether they were engaged in some other kind of survival tactics. Now, since the starting of this conflict, the government of Manipur has been either the PR government or the original popular government was when the popular government was there in the state. The various departments, skilled labor, horticulture, agriculture, and other departments have been giving them various support. But the main thing is that whatever support you have, it is a temporary support. So now. You have to look at the future of your children, your own future. For instance, we have a very close tie-up with our social economy and our existence. The culture of the people of various communities have their own methodology of survival. For example, when a Meitei Meitei citizen dies or a Meitei person dies, he is being held by the local community in the way called Singluk. Okay. Now, for instance, this IDP inhabitants who have been living in Moirang, Torbung area and Sekmai, then this Sajiwa jail and all these areas. If a person expires, now they are not being they are not being able to get that honor which they used to get. Even I'm talking of the worst case scenario, not about the survival, but about the ending of life. They are not able to get the very respect of even of the dead, even of the expired person. The community is not able to set up a proper procedure for ending of even the ending of life. So it is a very normal demand that the IDPs are asking for. And it is their rightful authority to get this demand. Now, it depends on the government how they react. Although the government has been trying to, send some of the IDPs back to their original residence, the amount of money which the government has invested in re-establishment or rehabilitation of the IDP has a huge difference of the loss which they have. For instance, to my knowledge, subject to correction, the government has been spending around 1 lakh, 2 lakh to re-establish their home. But when Kokomi officials, Arambai, Meitei Lipun, and all other CSOs and related authorities, even the DCs have went to visit the all residents of all these IDPs who have been sent back to their original residence. The amount of loss which they have is not comparable to the amount which the government is investing on their rehabilitation. So the government needs to do more. In my opinion, apart from establishing, spending money on their housing, housing and education and other things, they also need to spend more on their economy. For instance, if they have given a skilled labor training, or if they have given a, if they have given an entrepreneurial training, or some other kind of training, for example, food processing training, government needs to give them more support on their market so that they survive economically on their home ground. This is what the government needs to do. I think the government has not done enough, apart from trying to send them back, the security thing. Economically, there are lots of things which the government needs to do.
Okay, so fine, sir. So in the next headlines is about tension among 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 community blocks Manipur peace route cyclists in 𝐀𝐍𝐀𝐋𝐘𝐈𝐒. This is a headline from the India Today Notice. Sir, the message is very clear. It was cycling for rebuilding Manipur. It's a message for rebuilding Manipur. It's not a message to continue the conflict, but there is rejection. How do you read the signals?
I think there is no rejection at all. See, there are some interested people with vested interests who wants to continue the crisis. A few days back in in Phawaksaw, Torbung area, you have seen that some of the miscreants have done some firing incident. There has been some firing incident which the government was not able to control. So as far as the people's concern is, I think the government has a strong belief that the militants or various miscreants organizations will stand by what the government wants to achieve. So few people with vested interest might have been, like Kotu, then the other tribal organizations who have demanded separate administration and who are being supported backed by militant organizations. They are the only ones who has been opposing all these things. For instance, yesterday or day before yesterday, you might have seen a statement of the Kokomi coordinator, Mr. Athoba, saying that no one is stopping the Kukis to come back to Imphal.
Okay.
The Kukis, as well as come back to Imphal, they can do a survey of their home. For example, we have been doing, our CSOs have been doing survey of just before this topic, a few minutes back, we were discussing the IDPs. Now,
okay,
our IDPs have went to their home, went to their original residence, and they have seen the structure over there, and they have demanded the government that whatever they are financing for the residence is not enough of the loss which they have got. Now even the Kukis can come back, few of the Kukis can come back, they can have a look of what the damage is, they can ask the government. There has to be a proper rehabilitation process.
Okay.
Now in case few of the organizations like ITLF, KOTU and other small organizations, if they want to block the peace process, it is for the government to decide how they tackle it. They cannot, the majority population cannot remain hostage to few people, few organizations. You see that. For instance, there has been a very huge operation being carried out at Haidok. Those kind of operations can be carried out at different areas. I would like to appreciate the BSF for helping this Malem Thongam guy to pass through 𝐀𝐍𝐾𝐈𝐒. But I don't understand whether they have put him in one bunker vehicle, or they have made him cycle through the highway. So there is a big question: is the government succumb to few organizations in the name of not re-inviting a problem? Okay, in the name of not re-inviting a problem. For instance, the government might take like this: say there are instances where various organizations try to cross 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 on foot or by road. Even the government tried. Previous chief secretary tried 2-3 times.
Yes.
Now, if the government is not able to make it happen, then it is a total failure of law and order. Malem Thongam is a very small entity, but there are entities related to economy, related to culture, related to festivals, related to communities, and so many other things that the government is ignoring. Now the government has to decide when and how to handle this, what kind of action they can take.
Okay.
For example, during the Sangay festival, when the G5 insurgents announced that certain individuals, organizations, and stallers would be say sorry to the people of Manipur unless they would face action from G5.
Okay.
Now, the Chief Secretary had written a statement signed by himself that such kind of intimation won't be allowed. But whenever there is a question of passing Kangpopi, whenever there is a question of IDPs returning to their original place, there has been a slight firing, there has been statements provoking simple individuals, simple cookie individuals to block Malem Thongam's, Malem Thongam and other IDP people while doing the process of bringing peace. So particularly it is the role of the government, it is the role of law, whether how effective they can implement the rule of law. So I think there is no point discussing all this, that what is the Kotu doing, why Malem Thongam was not allowed to cycle through. But yes, we can discuss the matter. How did the government tackle, how did the government use BSF to make Malem Thongam reach Imphal, and what action did the government do not on behalf of the activists, forget the activists, let's forget the activists for a while, but what did the government do when there is a peace process, peace initiative taken by any individual? Even it can be a truck driver, it can be a simple human being who wants to bring up a peace initiative. There is a contribution towards the society.
Yes.
But is the government supporting it? Is the government taking legal action against those who are not permitting peace to permitting peace process to go ahead? This is the big question.
So it is actually not a rejection, but it is an effort by some vested interest group, and it's not about whether somebody XYZ is allowed to cycle through a particular area, or the question is not about whether somebody is allowing to go through or pass through. The question is about whether the government is having a complete vigilance on law and order activities, or is the law properly in action or not.
It is not about vigilance, it is about application of law. It is about application of law. There has been a High Court order when during the long blockade organized by the United Naga Council. Okay, there was a petition filed. There is a High Court order. You cannot succumb the highway or for a single community's demand. This is what it happens. It happens in Assam, Kabri Anglong, other areas, other tribal groups. They also organize it, but the law has been implemented properly. Now it is. See, if a peace negotiation with the government fails, then the government is, obliged, government is supposed to, utilize law in a manner where peace prevails in the state. But if the government is helping them, if the government is helping the other party to cross the road or other economy to survive in the hands of some petty organization, then it is not the law which is functioning, but it is some kind of some kind of progress inside the relationship between the particular organization and the government's law enforcement agencies. You cannot make the community succumb in the name of a demand of other particular community. You see, Gilza Valzong is a person who has, I think he must be having a number of FIR. Okay, a number of FIR. Even Kokomi has filed another FIR for provoking the Torbung peace process. Recently at 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 there was a firing, and Kotu had written one letter, that it was intimating the people of the state that they should not cross the buffer zone. So there is a buffer zone which has been created by him, not by the government. The government must allow people to cross each other. Say Kokomi's Athauba has already said that there is no objection from the people of Valley that no cookies can come in. Even we have always said that when Michael Amjathang is staying in Imphal, other cookies can also come in. Okay. They can have a team, they can get security from the government, they can have a watch of their their homes, which they believe that those have been destroyed. They can have a look of it, they can demand the government of proper compensation, which the Meitei people are already doing. So there has to be a process. If a particular organization like Kotu, ITLF and others, if they block the peace process, the government should take action against them.
Yes.
There is no organization in the valley, be it Pangal, Meitei, Kabui, whatsoever, any community who is blocking the peace process. That is for the government to understand.
So for the peace to prevail, what applies in valley must be applied in hill. That's what you're saying basically. What is there in the Times of India is, we have a headline, Delhi made positive with Manipur BJP MLAs coming together. Biren. So say here the word is together. How do you see? How do you react to this? There's a
See,
word focus in together. The MLA is coming together. How do you react to this?
I have always said in your panel discussion, in other TV channels panel discussion, that BJP members' hand should be shacked with the other colleagues. They have to pull out their colleagues. See, there are 7 BJP MLAs within the cookies. Okay, some Naga MLAs and Meitei MLAs. It is for the party president of the state how she organize a peace process and understanding between the leaders within BJP. You cannot always blame ITLF, Kotu, and Meitei extremists, Arambai or so whatsoever for derailing the peace. You cannot blame Kokomi for organizing agitation during Sangai festival. Okay, because this agitation won't have happened. ITLF, Kotu won't have been there. Arambai, Meitei, Lipun, all other organizations won't have been there if the BJP had taken proper initiative, proper action within their colleagues. Starting of May 3rd, 2023, BJP government, which was existing at that time, have they mismanaged the whole process of governance. For instance, all the MLAs have been shifted outside the state. There was a division before the people were even divided. Before the people had even shifted from Chochanpur to here, from here to Chochanpur or Kangpokpi, inside the administration of that time, even the police personnel who have been, who are under, legal authority to stop the violence or law enforcement, have been separated. They have been transferred. The present government and the previous chief secretary, the present chief secretary and the chief secretary who was earlier under the BJP leadership have not taken any initiative to recombine or rejoin the already separated administrative authorities. You see, there were so many transfers organized by the previous chief secretary who got transferred after 2-3 months.
Yes.
He had done so many transfers, but all the transfers took place inside the valley. Okay. There was no initiative taken by the Manipur Police Department.
So basically what you're saying is before the actual separation was taken place, mental separation is already in place.
No.
Initiated by BJP. That's what you're saying.
There has been a physical separation inside the administration. To make the people live together, you have to make sure that administration remains intact.
Okay.
The administration is not affected by all the the hate things.
Okay.
You see, the government has already. If you look at the Manipur Police Department, there is only one Mr. Kailun.
Okay.
IGP, ADG Kailun, who is stationed here. There was one, the previous DGP, Mr. Dongel was here. Then in other department like this one, AG department, Accountant General, then nursing sector, education sector, Manipur Police, IRB, MR, all these authorities, all these entities were mixed up with different communities. Now, since the problem started, the administration itself has divided. In RIMS, you will not see any cookie nurse.
Okay.
Earlier, there were so many cookie nurse. So in Manipur Police Department, in Manipur Rifles, in IRB, you won't see any cookies, station in Imphal.
Okay.
You have to make sure that this collaboration comes back.
Okay.
So it is the duty of the government to bring them back. After that, people will gain confidence. The villages, around in Chochanpur, in Kangpokpi, in Tenopal, there people would start saying, see, my brother is stationed in Imphal. There is no problem. He is inside his camp. All of them are living together. You can set an example. For instance, the under 18 or under 18, the football team, which is going to play the international game, has 3-4 cookies, 2-3 Nagas, and some Meiteis. They won a cup. Why don't you organize why is not the administration trying to organize? Instead of that, why is the administration pushing all these organizing things which they are supposed to do within their their administrative setup? There is no change. There is still a separation inside the administration. You have to bring it back. You have to make the community, live with each other. Realize that yes, we have to defend every community together. Economically, we have to defend it. Socially, we have to defend it. So that the organizations do not claim that there is a buffer zone. Okay, so this is what it is. Until and unless the same procedure comes up within the BJP, the party president needs to invite the Kuki MLAs to Imphal, giving them prior security to discuss the various matters related to bringing peace. And they also need to go to Chochanpur. They also need to, at least the party president can organize a meeting at Kangpokpi. So many things can be done, but the party is not doing. It is not only about BJP, but it is about Congress, it is about CPI, it is about MPP. They need to find access within the political system so that they can discuss the matter of peace. What are the likes, what are the dislikes, how can the economy survive? This is a matter of political things. They have to take political decisions. And it is not the duty of CSO or other activists like Malem Thongam or anybody, not even me, to take a decision. We can only give them a caution. Whatever we are saying is a caution. They have to listen to our words. If they like, it's okay. If they don't like, it is okay. If they are not liking whatever ideas we are sharing, then the crisis will continue.
Okay, sir. So in the United News of India, we have a headlines. The headlines reads this: Japanese team arrives in Manipur to enhance ties. The focus is ties. So we are very much interested, and we know that the Japanese they have a different sense of patriotism and nationalism. So what can we learn from the Japanese?
See, I'll tell you one thing, okay? Two things I want to remind you. One is the Japanese had invested a huge amount of money in the sericulture project, which already fell. Okay. Second is, the Japanese had also invested in me. During Corona, there's one Japanese company, Sagri Japan, through Tamo Rajeshwar. There's one Tamo Rajeshwar. The embassies had a very good relation with the Meitei people, particularly Manipur, not about Meitei. So they have, during Corona, there was a farm investment of 5 lakhs, which we distributed among various farmers. We made a distribution of 10 lakhs, 10,000 rupees each to various farmers so that they can grow their crops. It can be a financial help during the Corona period. And we asked them to return in the model of crops so that we can sell it and recover the money. But none of the money, except few people, have returned that money. And even today also I'm in debt. That is point number one. The Japanese has a very good will within the within Manipur, because it was on the Manipur sector that they had to return. They are even today also they are being pained why they are still studying why the INA and the Japanese army was not able to cross Manipur. What was the terrain? What was the situation at that time? Why did Japan move back? Why the food and supplies were not given? So it is Manipur is a place. Burma, Myanmar, and Manipur is a place where it is attached with them through their heart and ancestral people who came and fought during the Second World War. So now, if we take it as a positive note, we have to give a proper return. We have to learn to give proper return to whatever investment we get. So most of the time, mission project or investment FDIs and other things are not considered into considered into a model of investment where we have to return through return the money or through return the investment through some sort of development. If we are getting some money from a foreign entity, then we have to show them that yes, this money has been invested on this project, and yes, our people are developing. Only then they will be happy to reinvest on such things. G20 summit was one such incident where the chief minister announced that thousands of dollars, some hundreds of dollars were supposed to be invested by one American company, which never happened. You see, and the second thing is that to get an investment, we have to be technically sound. Technically sound in the sense we have our papers, whatever things we are doing. For instance, the Indian government has changed the model of investment and the model of financial sanction so many times that today, if some kind of some funds which has been invested for the development of the state through any agency, through any department, if you are not able to utilize it on time, the fund either returns to the center or it is being paid with interest. So in agriculture department, horticulture department, fisheries, even the PMGSY, I mean this thing, the development of road projects in the rural areas have been stuck for last 2-3 years. So in such a condition, how do we convince an embassy or foreign investment to come back to Manipur and have a clear vision of what we are going to do and how we are going to do? If you look at the road projects as well, recently going on presently going on this one rigid payment project is also an investment of foreign entity. ABD project is something somebody is investing in this project for the development of the state. So you have to give a proper return and you have to show that yes, we have utilized the money properly. So the corruption level in the state and the influential level, not only corruption but the way of influencing engineers, the way of influencing farmers, the way of showing achievement in papers, not on the actual field, is one big hurdle which the investment company is going to face.
Thank you. We'll now move on to another headline from the same paper. It says, science must drive solutions to climate change, Manipur Gama. So climate change is a big issue now in the state of Manipur. From the different aspect, how do you look at it?
See, there is a huge problem of climate change. I'll tell you about like 2 things. Okay, one is the Delhi, where the AQI is having a very big problem. Okay. Second is the Aravalli Hills, which the Modi government has decided to cut it up to 100 meters.
Yes.
The hills, Aravalli Hills is the place from where the marble supply of the country comes.
Yes.
Now to get, see, for example, the people living in and around Aravalli Hills, they have staged a huge protest. Okay, although they can get a huge amount of money if they negotiate. It's like 40,000 crores of marble inside the hills. Okay, if they extract it, if they mine it, the people over there are going to get rich. But to them, environment is more important than our earnings. Although they can get that money and shift it to somewhere, some better place like Himachal Pradesh, maybe Uttarakhand, or maybe some other area. They love their land. But as far as the Delhi, Manipur and other areas are concerned, we have to look at a different angle, because we are a developing country, and all of the developed country, when they were developing, have faced it. We have to learn from them. For example, China, for example, Canada, UK, they have already faced bad AQI. Okay, the poorest AQI. 4 years back, China even have to answer questions at the United Nations regarding their air quality, regarding their environment. Okay? So in Manipur, I think we still have a lot of time to learn regarding this. For example, I've seen some farmers who have been burning their paddy waste after harvest, thinking that all those the waste are not supposed to be there on their field. Paddy waste burning increases the decreases the quality of the air. Other thing is that while road constructions happen in different area, we have to make sure that all the roads remain on good quality. The maintenance should be done on at par. For instance, people needs to get aware after a new road is constructed, a new tender is flooded. After that, normally the contractor has to maintain the road for at least 3 years, which is to be 2 rainy. At least it should be maintained for 2 rainy season. Most of the time, we have seen that maximum of the contractor working in Manipur have not maintained the road. After construction, they just leave it. Okay. They wait for a new tender after 2-3 years. Okay, so such kind of things should be made aware. Environment and ecology is something which can be controlled through a policy with the help of the people. Only government cannot implement environment protection. You cannot find everyone because there is a lot of fault within the government as well. Yes. For example, 3 years back, the Green Tribunal had called the Chief Secretary of Manipur and had asked a fine of nearly 2 lakh every month just because our effluent treatment plant, the medical waste treatment plant was not functional, which is now being done by Caesar Hospital and RIMS. See, there are certain things which has to go with policy, which has to go with funding, and there are certain things which the people should understand, and the people should be doing the needful. Everyone should plant at least 1, 2 trees within their apartment. Everyone should have a terrace garden. Everyone should have, every lekai, every club should go for a proper tree plantation. Trees should be distributed within the urban areas as well, where are some spaces, because we need to have a very good air quality when we start developing. When industries come down, when a lot of industries and a lot of construction goes happening, then the air quality actually decreases. See, these are the things. It is related to policy matter and public public awareness. Both sides has to take proper steps. Only government taking a proper step, government only working on policies and not implementing it, not being implemented by the people is not what. That's
Yes.
it.
So for the climate change to give a chance to refresh and renew itself, we need policy, at the same time participation from the people. So science can be one of the agents to enhance the participations or the policy matter. That's what you are saying, sir. So for the final wrap up, we'll have news headline from Morning Express. It says Manipur's rich biodiversity makes it a natural laboratory for the scientific study. Governor Vala. So it's all about the biodiversity of Manipur being the natural laboratory. How do you look at it, sir?
See, Manipur is a very good biodiversity. We have lake, we have hills, we have everything. See, the tribal people of Manipur has been surviving within the hill areas for so long. We have a history of more than 2,000 years. That we have a written history of more than 2,000 years. The biodiversity. The biodiversity can only be protected with the help of the people. Like earlier I have said, if the people is not interested, I am only interested in building a concrete home within my land area, and I am not looking into. I have cut down everything, and I am putting an air conditioner, air purifier, and everything. That is not done. You see, there is a social responsibility of every people. That social responsibility has to be realized by the citizen of the state. If we do not realize that social responsibility, then none of the policy won't work. For instance, you look at Delhi, you look at Mumbai. Mumbai, Delhi, you look at, for example, you look at Noida, you look at this Gurgaon. For recently, 3-4 months back, when there was a heavy rainfall in Gurgaon, although they were having a very huge high rise, 24, 25 story, 30 story, whatever, and the property cost in Gurgaon is more than 1 crore in one apartment.
Yes.
2 crore, 3 crore, but the ground level infrastructure is so poor that Gurgaon people could not come out for even 3-4 days before the flood even went away. You see, that is the sense of social responsibility. Only having a developed sector, only having an industrialized township is not enough. You have to look at various angles. I'll just remind you of one incident. The Reliance refinery, where it is located, was called up by Green Tribunal because of the air quality and the damage they have done to the environment. And they were asked to plant, the court had asked to plant so many trees so that the surrounding area won't be affected by that, by the burning of fuel or whatsoever development was taking place in that area. Now, what Reliance did, they planted so many mango trees. You see, so many mango trees, and created another company. The air quality was also improved, as well as they got a new business. So the policymakers and the people have to look into the angle where your society also develops and the environment and the ecology is also taken care of. So that is it is a part-to-part duty of the government and the people.
Yes.
We have to contribute.
Yes.
Only asking the government, you have not done this, you have not done that, and for instance, if the policy says that you cannot drive a vehicle which is 10 years old, then you have to leave it. You have to ask the government to give a policy where you can dispose your old vehicle, get some subsidy, and buy a new vehicle if you are not earning properly.
Okay.
The government has to look into how they can support, and people have to look into how we can contribute. Only then the biodiversity can be preserved.
That's a good insight. That's the end of today's morning news analysis broadcasting live from Imphal. For the viewers, this was actually an English edition, trial edition, and thank you for the cooperation.
Master Tobiningba Mahiroi Singidamakta Sparkle Iju Service na Ebrota Master Toba Yabagi Kudong Chaba Pizari Management Engineering Professional Course Yauna any subjecta Master Tobagi Kudong Chaba Pizari Tambiningba Mahiroi Singidamakta Course Selection Documentation English Language Training Visa Application Mock Interview Preparation Accommodation Chingba Sparkle Gi Maikaidigi Mateng Pizari Loinana 100% Education Loan Scholarship Facilities, Part-time Job Assistant ki khudong chabasu pijari. Hairiba countries sing adudi UK, USA, Ireland, Australia, Russia, Italy, Germany na chingbani. Akopa marol gidamakta 7005273217 natraga 9366230077 natraga aikoigi office Northeast Window TV Building Hatta New Chekon Road ta lengsin birau. Class 12 amasung graduate loiraba mahiro singidamakta Germany da hospital program tamba yabagi khudong chaba pisari hairiba program sing adudi ahanbada accountancy hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta commerce background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani ani subada hotel management hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta any stream da 50% fangba oigedabani ahung subada electronic engineering hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta physics chemistry math background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani mari subada mechatronic engineering hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta physics chemistry math background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani manga subada construction engineering hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta physics chemistry math background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani taruk subada automatic mechatronic engineering hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta physics chemistry math background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani tare subada electrical engineering hairiba stream asida tamnabagi damakta physics chemistry math background leibaga loinana 60% fangba oigedabani nipan subada medical technician radiology assistant MTRA tamnabagi damakta any stream da 50% fangba oigedabani Mapan subada medical assistant amasung tara subada nursing hariba sing asi tamnabagi damakta 12 natraga graduate loiraba singna apply toba yagani loinana hariba program sing asi tamba mahiroi singna thagi oiva stipend listing 100 dagina 1 lakh phawba chahi ahum phangani loinana 100% job guarantee in Germany da oigani loinana 100% education loan to support tawjagani akupa marol gidamak 7005063196 ta contact tawbirau
Hakchang Panatamgi Hairabadi, Iram the Masimakta the Laiba, Kwaidagi Paraba Hospital Singi Manunda Ama Oiriba, Babina Hospital Lajari.
Mapamasida, Tazabayarabamadi, Seliam Changdana, Specialty Kunhen Badana lying Bagi Kudong Chaba Pizari.
Pediatrics, Cardiology, Cosmetic Surgery Amadi, Specialty Makal Maka Kayada, Aikogi Specialist Singna, Marik Chumna, Kawai Hakchang Yauna Lying Jari.
Aduna, State Wangmada Muk Karigi Chatlugani, Aikogi Manipur Dasu Hogipti, Awang Bathaki, Healthcare Fanglabada.
Matam Mangan Viraganu, Sel Henatingan Viraganu, Aikogi Specialist Singdagi, Malemgi Apabathaki Lying Patak Yumpam Oiba, Service Lobiu.
Babina Hospital, where hope meets compassion.
Akupamarol Gidamak, Babina Hospital, Saziwa Gel Road, Kabay Soy Impal Istaleng Sinbirau.
Natraga, Aikogi phone number 6909 390666 ta call to Birau.